So, any idea regarding what do you mean by a programming language?
Programming language. Um, that is any language used to write a program that helps us to write a program. Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
programming language is basically it is a language which is used to interact with the computer. Fine.
Hmm.
Computer is a machine, right? And
Yeah.
it don't understand human language. It
Okay.
understands only the binary language. Fine. So, a
Hmm.
programming language means ki, language, uh, language. So this is what a language is needed, right? A language is needed to interact with the computer to perform some specific task. Fine. So the word Python means it's kind of a scary word, right? Ki Whenever
Yeah.
you whenever you heard this word Python, that means ki a big hulking snake comes in your brain, right?
Yeah.
So and it's basically a very big reptile, now,
Mhm.
which you have seen in zoo. Fine.
Yeah.
I've seen him very closely in the jungle. He's he's sleeping in that time. Thank God. So that's a python, right? So
Okay.
but the thing is this key this python name isn't come from that snake, right?
Okay.
So the developer of this language, his name is developer of Python language. You know,
No.
you didn't inquire it with Google
No.
who developed Python. So Python language, developer of Python language is his name is Guido van Rossum, right? Guido Guido van Rossum, Rossum. Hopefully, I've written the correct name.
Okay.
So developer of Python. So let's write it over here. Developer of Python. So developer of Python, yeah, Guido van Rossum, right? So Python is an interpreted high-level general-purpose programming language created by Guido van Rossum, right?
Mm.
And it and first released in 1991, right? It's released in February 19.
Mm.
So
Nice.
yeah, so its first release its first release release in February February 1991.
Fine.
All right. So why this person has given the name Python?
Bye.
So he likes Python.
Hello?
Oh, he likes Python,
Maybe.
maybe, right? So he actually given the
Yeah.
Python because there is one TV show, right? Just like
Hmm.
Kapil Sharma show. No,
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
fun show, right? A
Yeah.
fun show going around the TV, right?
Hmm.
And that show name is Monty Python Circus.
Okay.
It's a very old show. It was Monty Python, right? Circus, circus, right? So this is a show. This is a TV show, and this is actually a very famous show. Fine.
Hmm.
So that is a Monty Python's Flying Circus moment, right? So from
Hmm.
here he took the name Python, right? So
Okay.
Python is a fun show, right? Fun show.
Hmm.
So when you write programs, computer programs, right,
Hmm.
by using Python language, you'll feel the fun.
Okay.
Fine. you go to YouTube and watch the top 10 Monty Python's Flying Circus moments,
Okay.
or you can search it for Monty Python Flying Circus shows, right? So they will show you different kind of shows, right? So so he has given the name. He has given the name Python.
Python.
He has.
Yeah.
So from there the name came, right? So
Mm.
Python language is based or influenced with two programming language, right? So Python, Python is being influenced with two programming language, with two programming language, two programming language. Fine. Two programming languages. So the number one is ABC language, fine.
Mm.
A teaching language, uh, a teaching language,
Mm.
a teaching language created as a replacement, created as as a replacement, 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 fine, of basic. And number two, right? There's a language called Modular 3. There are other influencer languages like C++ also there, fine.
Mm. Mm.
And there is another language called C also. So with the influence of these languages, uh,
Mm.
the Python is being created. Fine. So best thing about Python is an easy language, an easy language to learn, to learn, right?
Mm.
And easy to learn, and uh, and it is language. Fine.
Mm.
And it is and best thing is that ki Python, it is a very high level programming language.
Mm.
It is a very high level programming language, yet as powerful as many other middle level, not so high level languages like C, C++, Java,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
So Python is very easy, first of all, so you don't have to worry. The easy
Okay.
word is used. So it's very easy, right?
Yeah.
So we can say that the first features of Python we study features features of Python features of Python. So number one feature, it's easy to use, easy to use, right? So Python is a compact and very easy to use language with a very simple syntax rules, right? And it is a very high level language, does very programmer. It's very easy to use, right?
Mm.
So we can write it for Python. Python is very easy to use language with with very very simple syntax. What do you mean by syntax? So the way we write English grammar or the way we write essays, right? So
Mm.
we follow some rules, right? Grammatical rules. So here also we follow some grammatical rules of Python, right? And it is a it is a it is a very high level language, and and uh, thus very 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 programmers friendly, programmer friendly. Fine. So it contains very rich libraries, very rich functions. So it is very much programmers friendly language. And number two, it's a very expressive language. It's very expressive language, right? So Python expressiveness means it is more capable to expressing the code's purpose than many other language, right? Reason being, you have to write very few lines of code, right? It's much more simpler syntax is there, right? So expressive language. Number three is it is interpreted. So what do you mean by interpreter?
I can't understand interpreted language.
Uh, no, interpreter. You understand interpreter?
Interpreter.
Yeah.
Um, mm,
Say for example. Say for example. Say here. Here, Mr. This is Mr. Narendra Modi,
mm,
right? This is Mr. Narendra Modi. Very bad drawing. Mr. Modi is out there, and it's Mr. Putin is out there, right? Mr. Putin is here, and Mr. Narendra Modi used to speak in Hindi,
mm,
and Mr. Putin is going to speak in Russian,
okay.
right? So, so how they communicate with each other?
Uh,
Because Mr. Putin also don't know English, and Mr. Modi also don't know English.
okay.
How they communicate with each other?
There can be a translator.
Right. There can be a translator. So there is another person, right? This person is basically a translator or an interpreter, right?
Okay.
So he first listens to the Modi's sentences and the words, translate or interpret those things to Mr. Putin's native language called Russian, right? To Russian. Then Mr. Putin will understand that, and then Mr. Putin will answer, will supply here input, then this supply input over here, right? So in this way, the communication goes, right?
Mm,
So same
mm,
thing happens with the computer also. So here we are as a human,
mm,
right? This is a computer, right?
mm,
And we want to interact with the computer, right?
mm.
So what we need? We need here interpreter.
Interpreter.
Interpreter. So here interpreter is visible. Here interpreter is visible,
Visible.
but here interpreter is not
Mm,
visible, right? Here
mm,
interpreter is not visible. It is associated with the programming language, right?
mm,
So whatever we write instruction in a particular language, and that language is being interpreted, and then computer can understand that part and execute our task, right?
mm.
So that is why it is called interpreted language,
Yeah.
right? So there are few languages in the world which uses some interpreter, or there are other words like we use called compiler, right? So so there are the interpreter and compiler are two different person, but they do the same kind of a job, right? They interprets the human language to the computer, and
Mm,
computer gives the output, and that output also converted to the human understandable language, right? So in this way the communication occurs. Fine. So so these two person have a different kind of you can say that they means one person is the one person works very much efficiently, one person works very slow, right? So
mm.
interpreter works a bit slower than compiler, right?
Okay.
So Python is interpreted language, so there is only one problem with the Python. It's a performance, right? Performance is a bit down in Python, right?
Mm.
And the best performing language is C++. So, but anyhow, Python is easy. So, if you are learning your first programming language as a Python, it's fun, right? So later on, you will
Mm.
learn the language. Python is an interpreted language, not a compiled language. This means Python installation interprets and executes the code line by line at a time, makes Python an easy to debug language and thus suitable for all type of required functionality is available through various models of Python standard library. For example, for diverse functionalities such as email, web pages, databases, GUI development, network connection, and many more, everything is available in Python standard library. Thus, it is
Okay.
also called Python follows batteries included philosophy,
Mm.
right? So
Python?
Python follows batteries included philosophy.
Okay.
Batteries included philosophy.
Fine.
Batteries included philosophy means to say you buy a toy, right?
Mm.
And to make the function, to make the toy function, what you need to install, you need to install batteries in it, right? And
Yeah.
that your toy start functioning. And if the toy vendor is not providing you the battery, right,
Mm.
then what will happen? You bring the toy, open the box, and toy is not functioning. Then again you have to go to the market now to buy the
Yeah.
battery. If the toy vendor is providing the battery, then it is very easy, right?
Yeah.
To install the battery and use the battery. So Python, if you install the Python in your computer, right? So you
Mm.
don't have to install any other thing. It's a complete package in itself, right? So that is why it is called it's completeness. Completeness is also one important feature of Python, right?
Mm.
So that is why we say that ki Python follows battery included philosophy, right? Battery included is basically a philosophy. Okay. So
Okay.
let me write this point also. Okay, let me do an experiment also, whether it converts my handwriting. Various modules of Python for diverse functionality. Everything is available in Python standard. This is regarding its completeness. Next thing is it's a cross-platform language, right? Point number 5. Cross-platform language. Cross. What do you mean by cross-platform? Any idea, Subhalakshmi?
Cross platform. No.
Can you tell me what do you mean by platform? Any idea?
Platform means any plane, any kind of plane.
Okay, any kind of a surface where you can
Yeah.
perform something,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Right. Say for example, you are using your tablet, right? So what is your platform?
Uh,
It's Android,
is
right?
yeah.
Android. Right. If you are using your father's laptop, then what is the platform?
No.
Subhalakshmi, if you are using your father's laptop, then what is the platform?
Then what is the platform?
It's Microsoft Windows, right?
Okay.
Ah, so platform basically means operating system, right?
Acha. Hmm.
So so platform means ki in technical language now we never say operating system, right? Operating system word is for kids, right?
Yeah.
Now you are in class 11, so we talk about platforms. Fine. So on your father's laptop you can execute this language called Python. You have to install Python in your father's laptop and you have to use it in a regular basis. Fine. Because the tablet will not feed your purpose. Fine. It will not solve your problem. I will show you how to install Python in your computer also. Okay. So you can do it with your own. Okay. So cross-platform language means ki it can run on any platform, right? The program can
Hmm.
run on any kind of
Any
platform,
platform.
right? So on the laptop also there are different kind of platforms like a Windows platform, you have Linux
Hmm.
platform, right? You have
Yeah.
Mac platform. The people who uses Apple's MacBook now, that is called Mac platform, right?
Okay.
Macintosh, right? Macintosh computers, right? So the Python is basically a cross-platform language, right? And
Mm.
and it works on multiple platform, right? So but you, if you have to
Okay.
write down the programs, you need a computer. The tablet will not solve your purpose, right? You cannot
Mm.
write programs on your tablet, fine. So
Yeah.
that is a problem with the tablets. Till now, it is a problem, but in future it may be possible. You are writing computer programs on the tablet, right?
Yeah.
For example, in your when I am studying in my school, this online class is not possible. But now
Mm.
you are studying in your school, this online class is possible.
Possible.
Fine. Same way, I can teach multiple people also, right, at one time. Because you remember I created a group, you,
Yeah.
Saini, and what's her name? Tista's sister's name is what?
Semantica.
Chimantika, right? Right. I formed up a group and then I'm teaching in the group, right? And you three
Yeah.
people are at your home and you
Mm.
don't have to travel and you are taking the class. Now, it's fantastic, right? You don't have to
Yeah.
travel. And it
Yeah.
is good for environment also,
Yeah.
right? If you're not traveling, that means ki you're not producing pollutions. Fine.
Mm.
So it's good for environment also. Ki people take classes online.
Yeah.
Now, so that is called means ki it's possible now. Fine. In future, it may be possible that in a tablet we can execute a program, right?
Mm.
Okay. So right now it is not possible. You have to use laptop or a personal computer to install the programming language and program, right? So Python can run equally on variety of platforms,
Platform.
right? So let me select a language color. So Python. So it's amazing, right? It's amazing that Python can run on any
Platform.
platform, right? So
Yeah.
and that makes or in other words. So this portable word is also important. Portable means ki we can carry Python anywhere. Now,
Mm.
portable. Say for example, it's compact, cross-platform, run anywhere, right? So
Mm.
next point is Python is free, right? Next point is it is free. You don't have to pay any single paisa, right? But if you want to do donation, you can do that, but it is free. Okay. So the thing is this, okay, free and open source and open.
Okay.
So this is another point, right? So Python language is freely available, right? It's freely available. Okay. And Python language is freely available. That means ki you can download your Python, right? So Python language is freely available, available, right? So you don't have to pay, right? You can download Python from python.org, right? You can download Python from python.org. Fine. So and its source code is also available. You can customize the source code of Python and create your own type of Python. Say Subbalakshmi's Python. That is also possible. Fine.
Mm.
So you can create your own Python. Fine. You can customize the source code and create your own Python. That is also allowed, right? And not only it is free, not only it is free, right? Free. Its source code, its source code is also available. Is also available. Available. Fine. So, so it is open source code, so you can download the source code and you can modify, right? So you can modify, no, you can modify, improve, or extend, or extend. Fine.
Yeah.
So this is a very good thing, right? You can download it. You can download the source code. You can modify or improve the source code. Fine. So now you think that key where Python is used, right? Point
Mhm.
7. So variety, what am variety, variety of uses, uses or application, right? Uh, where we can use Python, right? So we can Python can be used in websites, right? It can be used in websites, right? It can be used in or websites or web applications. We can write it as web applications. Applications, right? We can use it for web application. We can use it for rapid prototyping. Rapid prototyping. Rapid prototyping. Fine. We can use it for scripting, right? We can develop GUI programs. You know GUI?
Graphic users interface.
Right, right. Graphical user interface. Perfect.
Okay,
So we
graphical.
have graphical user interface. We can develop a programs like, say you have used Adobe Photoshop.
Uh, no, I didn't use it,
Okay,
but
you did use it. Fine. There is another software called Microsoft PowerPoint, right?
yeah,
You use that, I think so, or Microsoft Word.
yeah,
All these programs are GUI programs. So you can create that kind of software by using Python also, right? So you
yeah,
can develop computer games also using Python. So game development. So by using Python, you can develop games, right? And there are many more things which you can do. You can develop database applications. You have used MS Access, right?
yeah.
Okay, and then you can design system administration programs also. System administration programs. System administration programs, right? So this you can this kind of applications you can develop, right? So so although Python is very powerful yet simple language with so many advantages, right? It has some disadvantages also, right? So
Mhm.
Python is first of all the disadvantages of Python. The first disadvantage is performance. Performance is down, right? So this is the first disadvantage, right? And and um, and there is another disadvantage which I got it in my life is that um, it is it is it's not proper object oriented. It's not proper per, it's not proper object oriented, right? And the next number C is uh, does not support does not support backward compatibility. Backward compatibility. BILITY compatibility. Does not support backward compatibility. Backward compatibility means if a new version comes, right, it won't support the old version, right? So Python 2, there is a version called Python 1, Python 2, Python 3. So right now Python 3 is working, right? But Python 3 is not supporting Python 2, right? This is not the case with the languages like C, C++, or Java, right? The new version comes, but they keep the old versions also in the new version, right? So that is not the case with the Python. So these three disadvantages I have seen in Python. Fine. This is a thing because none of the people are perfect, right? None of the person is also perfect. Everyone is not perfect at all. They have some problems. They have some advantages and they have some disadvantages. But what is important? If you have more advantages, then you are a good person, right?
Mm.
Same thing happens with the Python also. Python have more advantages than disadvantages. So
Okay.
how many advantages Python have? Seven, right?
7.
Right. But how many disadvantages Python have? Only three. Okay. So Python is a good programming language. Fine.
Mm.
Sure. Then I will show you how to download Python from in your dad's computer. You don't have your computer, right? You have to do programming in your dad's computer, or you have personal computer.
But it's not working actually right now.
Okay. Then you have to use your dad's computer.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's available now. Then I will show you how to download it. Go to
Hello.
Google. Yeah, yeah. Uh, you
Please.
go to Google in your dad's laptop.org. That's it, right? And you press enter key. It will automatically come.
Okay, I'll type it. Yeah, www.python.org, right?
You just type python.org. You are using Chrome, right?
Hmm.
Just type python.org. Don't take so much of tension,
Okay, got it.
right? Press enter key. You got this page, right?
No, I didn't got this page.
You have written python.org.
I wrote that. So wait for a minute, please.
Uh-huh.
Python.org.
Press enter key.
Yeah, now it came.
It came now. Then click
Yeah,
on
yeah.
down. Then click on downloads,
Downloads. Okay.
right?
Hmm.
So now you click on Python 3.8.2 button.
That yellow one.
Yeah, this one. You click on downloads, right?
Uh,
Okay.
it's coming. Download Python 3.8.2.
All right. You click on that button, Python 3.8.2, right? When you click on that button,
Hmm.
right, this kind of dialog box will appear, right?
But it's not appearing.
You click on the Python 3.8.2.
It's not coming. This dialog box.
Okay. Have you clicked on this?
Uh,
The button 3.8.2.
I'm getting a yellow button here that download Python 3.8.2 and I've clicked that.
Okay, you click that.
Yeah.
When
And
I'm
it's getting downloaded, I think so.
It's
Something happened.
downloaded at the bottom, I think so. So, so add the Python 3.82 path. I clicked on that, and then I'm clicking on install now, right? So it's initializing. It will give you this window, right? You click on yes, right? So it will be installed in 1 or 2 minutes to install the whole software.
My father is saying the signal is very slow. That's because of that.
Okay, okay, that that is also possible. You download it later on, and then I click on this. Then you click on P, right? Okay. Then you will find that key there is one Python 3.8 is there, right? So 3.7 is also there, but 3.8 is also here, right? So Python 3.8. Now you click on, yeah, what is the problem?
Yeah, it's getting installed. See.
Actually, it's getting installed. Okay.
Yeah.
Then you clicked on this. Okay. And then you click on Python 3.8. Okay. It's getting installed. So you follow
Yeah.
that.
Hello?
Yes, Subhalakshmi.
Yeah, it's completed.
It's completed now. So
To do
now you go to the start menu button, right? You go to
okay.
start menu
It's
button.
showing setup was successful and now it's showing close. Now will I close it?
Yeah, close it, just close it. Okay.
Okay. Then
Then you click on this start button, right? Then you
button side.
click on this character. You have Windows 10, right?
Yeah, Windows. Uh-huh.
And you click this kind of button is there now. That means Windows
Yeah,
10.
yeah, yeah, it's Windows 10.
Okay.
And
So then you
they're
click on
showing
this.
3.8.
Yeah, yeah. You click on this button A, like A character is there now, right? Now you go to P, right?
It's
P is for
showing
Python.
built-in modules and
It was.
showing built-in module.
Uh, you just close that.
I'll close it.
Yeah,
Okay.
close it.
Wait. Hmm.
Okay, just follow me. Just see what I am doing.
Okay.
Okay, you click on this button first. You
Hmm.
click on this button, then you
Yeah.
click on this hash or A, something like that, right? So if you click on A, then you will
Hmm.
get this A, B, C, D like this, right? Then P
Yeah.
is for Python. So you click on P, right? Then you are here, right? So Python 3.8, right? Then you
Hmm.
click on this Python 3.8, right? And then you click on idle, 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 IDLE.
Acha, sir, wait a minute.
Oh, I'm waiting for a minute.
So, I'll click. Okay, I'm clicking idle. Fine.
Right, right. Click on idle. Then you will find that okay, this is opened. This kind of thing you will get.
I'm not getting that.
You will wait for a minute. You will get it.
Okay.
Clicked on idle.
Yeah, I clicked on idle. Now I got it. Now I got it.
I've said to you, it will take a bit of time. Okay, because
Okay.
it's the first execution. It will take 30 to 40 seconds to 30 to 40 seconds to get it started. Right?
Okay.
Okay. So this is called interactive mode or Python shell. This is called Python
Interact cell.
interactive mode or Python shell, right? Say for example, over here, if you write 2 plus 5, so see it's showing you 7, right?
I have 2 plus 5.
Yeah, 2 plus 5. You type it now,
Okay,
or you
5.
can write 977 multiply by 45. That will give you this result. That's working like a calculator, right? This divided by this, so it's showing you this result.
Then I'll click enter after typing.
Yeah. After typing, you click enter.
I got 7.
Yeah, you got 7, right? You do multiplication of big number, division of big number, like
Okay.
that, right? So this is called Python's interactive mode. Fine. So in Python interactive mode, we can write small commands like we can write here print, right? In the bracket, if I write in double quotes, if I write Subbalakshmi,
Hmm.
KSHMI Subbalakshmi, so it will print Subbalakshmi.
Okay.
Fine. So here we can perform many things like I can write print, I can write here whatever I will write inside the double quote here, or you can
Okay.
use single quote also. Single quote. If you use single quote, you can write hello, and it will be it will print hello, right? So you can do this. Okay.
Hmm.
So this is an interactive mode where you can execute your commands, right? This is called interactive mode. Okay. So
Hmm.
so, so interactive mode is interactive mode help us to write and execute or do experiment with small codes, right? But if you want to write a program, then you have to go to scripting mode, right? So how to go to scripting mode, right? So you click on file, right? Then you click on new file. Okay. So in new file you write here, right? Print uh, the name here, Subbalakshmi. Subha, Shubha, Lakshmi, Subhalakshmi. And what is your brother name?
Ryan.
Ryan.
Yeah.
The spelling is Ryan.
Yeah.
Ryan. I thought he must be given a name like Kuber.
He's having a good name. This is nickname.
Acha, he's having good name. What is a good name?
Dipto Narayan.
What Narayan?
Dipto Narayan.
Dipto Narayan. Yeah, right. I know that. DIPTA. Dipto
Yeah.
Narayan. Narayn. Narayan. So let me make this capital, otherwise he will become angry. What sir is doing? DIPT. Dipto Narayan.
But you
Right.
are not giving any space, right?
Right. I'm not giving any spaces. Right.
Okay.
If
Wait.
you want, you can give spaces. That won't matter.
Okay.
Fine. So print. Your father name is Dev Narayan. No.
Yeah.
Dev
And it's D.
Raya. Dev Narayan. Uh, what you were saying?
Write D instead of D.
DEB. Dev Narayan, right? Okay, Dev Narayan. And your mother name is
Aditi.
Aditi. Aditi.
Yeah.
This is fine.
C
This is
C
very easy.
Y
AIDIT.
Y.
Aditi. Okay. This is fine at least. Why they
Yeah.
have given name like this? Even my name is also like big.
Yeah.
Right? Big people have big names. So my name is this. Indra. Okay. So this is a program, right? So what I have to do here, okay, I have to click on file and I have to save this, right? Before executing the program file, I have to save the file, right? So I clicked on save button, right? And I went to D drive, right? In D drive, I have a folder already created. You can create a folder also, right? Python, where is Python? Yeah, Python programs, right? So I have few programs already written for some students. So here you can write here. I'm writing given here first. You can write here first dot, right? Py dot py is important here, right?
Okay.
So every language have their own extensions. Say for example, Java have
Yeah.
extension like dot Java. Okay,
Yeah.
so computer can identify which programming language file is this, right?
Okay.
So now I click on save, right? I saved the file. Now you can see here D colon Python programs first dot py is saved. Okay.
Hmm.
So now you click on run. Okay. And then you click on run module. Which option? First option, run module. When you click on run module, then you will see that okay, all the names were printed at one go, right?
Okay.
Understood. So this is how we write computer programs in Python, right? So this is basically an introduction class to Python, what Python is, and how to install Python and how to write Python code, all right?
Hmm.
So I'm going to give you some notes to study also, ठीक है ना? And you study that, and we continue our classes like this. Fine. So this is our first basic class where I've given you the introduction to Python. All right. So last day also I have said that key the Python is high level language. Python is
High level language. High level language.
right. The
Um.
computer understand which language? Computer.
By machine language or binary language.
Right. Machine language. It's very difficult for us to program in binaries. Right.
Hmm.
So what we do, we use high level language. We use high level language, right? We use high level language, and what we do, we convert this high level language to, we need some middle person right, which converts these high level language to machine language or binary language, to machine language or binaries, right? So this person is called interpreter or compiler. This
Yeah.
person is called interpreter. So in many language we have compiler, and in many language we have interpreter, right? So Python is basically a high level language, and it may have interpreter or compiler in the middle, and that converts the high level language to machine language or binaries or low level language. It is called low level language also. Low level language, right? Which is understand by computer and it will execute, right? So,
Mhm.
so what is an interpreter? So let me give
It
you definition of interpreter. So interpreter, right? So this language processor, language, language processor converts this language processor converts a high level language HLL. HLL means high level language. This means HLL. Okay. So high level language program into machine language, machine language by by converting and executing it line by line, it line by line,
like
right? So what it does, it actually takes the one line as an input in the interpreter and processes that line and convert it into machine language, and machine language at the same hand executing at the same time. Okay. Okay. So if any, right, if there is any, if if there is any, if there is any error, if there is any error in any line, if there is an error in any line, it reports reports it reports it at the same time. It reports at it reports it at the same time, and program execution cannot resume until cannot resume until the error is rectified. The error is rectified. Interpreter must always be present in the memory every time the program is executed, as every time the program is run, right? It is first interpreted and then executed, right? So for error
Uh,
debug, I will repeat. I will repeat.
no, no, I'm having a question actually.
Okay, say.
You told if there is any error in any line, so what type of error means? What does
Means ki, you have done any typing mistake, right?
typing mistake?
Yeah, typing mistake, or maybe you are not following the rules of programming, right? You are following your own rules. So in that case, it will give you an error. Fine. I will show you what are the errors. You will face loads of errors in your program. Don't worry. Okay. Just try to understand what is an interpreter and how it does its job, right? So different people do the same job differently, right? So in Python, it is interpreter, and in the languages like C++, Java, we have compiler, right? So, so interpreter is another way of converting high-level language to low-level language. Compiler have another thinking to convert the high-level language to low-level language. Interpreter take the source code directly and converts the source code into the machine language code at the same time of execution, right? Whereas compiler does the job differently. Fine. Yeah. So interpreter must always be present in the memory every time the program is executed, as every time the program is run, it is first interpreted and then executed, right? For debugging, interpreter is very much useful as it reports the error at the same time, right? But once errors are removed, fine, unnecessary uses of memory takes place as it has to be present in memory always. Understood? So it is always there in the memory of the computer. Fine. So
Yes.
okay, let me write this thing. Fine, Subhalakshmi. Okay.
So,
Interpreter always presents into the. So next thing is what do you mean by compiler? So compiler means ki compiler also does the job with the it always converts a high level program into machine language, but the conversion manner is different. Fine. So so it converts the entire high level language program, fine, in one go, entire high level program in one go, and reports all the errors of the program, fine, along with the line number, along with the line number. In line number, which line number you will having errors, which line number you don't have any errors, fine. So it will report you. Okay. So so compiler is better than interpreter because at one go you will know where the errors are there, and you rectify all the errors. Compiler will compile the code, and its job is done. So it is out of the memory. It is out of the memory.
mem
Fine. Now you have the machine language code, so you can execute it directly because compiler will not execute the code. The job of the compiler is to just convert. So execution is done by itself the machine language. So
mm,
compiler is a faster way now, and
mm,
it is not there in the memory also.
yeah.
It is not there in the memory also. So you can utilize the memory for other purposes also. Fine.
Mm,
So compiler is a better option than interpreter. But anyhow, you are learning a Python language, and Python language having an interpreter, and your job is done by the computer, so you don't have to worry. But you need to understand the concept only, right? And nowadays, our computer have so much of memory, we don't have to worry about very small chunk of memory. So whether you have interpreter or compiler, fine. At the beginner's level, it is not going to be matter, fine. So let me write the note about compiler. तो कंपाइलर को अपने लिखते हैं. लेट मी सिलेक्ट अ कलर. कौन सा लें कलर? लेट मी टेक दिस ग्रीन कलर. We have loads of option now in this board. It's not like
Yeah.
Amalgachi board. No.
Yeah.
So, compiler. Compiler. Alright. So it also converts the high level language program into machine language. But the conversion manner is different. But the conversion manner is different. Okay. It converts the entire high level language program converts the entire high level छोटा ना लिख. Entire HLL into a high level program. It converts the entire high level language program in one go. One go. Fine. And reports all the errors of the program. All the errors of the program. Along with the line numbers. Along with the line numbers. After all the errors are removed, after all the errors are removed, the program is recompiled. The program is recompiled. Fine. And after that, the compiler is not needed. And after that, the compiler is not needed. After the compiler is not needed in the memory. In the memory. As the object program is available. Program is available. Fine. So this is a concept of compiler. So let me chalk out the drawing whatever I have written, because drawing is always better than writing. Fine. So I'm bad in drawing, but let me draw some boxes and all and explain it to you. So when we do interpretation, let me change this color also. So let me take this color. So let me write here interpreter, right? Interpreter, Pretor, interpreter. Or I can write here interpretation. What we have, the program which we write is called source code. It's called source code, and what we do here, source code is interpreted, right? Source code is interpreted. Interpreter is interpreting the source code. Fine. Okay. And it's generating output here. It's generating output, right? So and this is the output part, and it is generating the output. But if there is an error, right? If error,
So what is source code?
the program which we write,
Okay.
that is called source code, right? Program written by the programmer is called source code, right? And interpreter interprets and produces output. If error, right? If there is an error, okay, then this control. Okay, let me delete this first. So if there is an error, that error will be again uh, returned back to the control, will be returned back to the source code. The control will return back to the source code error report. So what we have to do, we have to fix the source code, right? So what our job is to fix the code and get back to the interpreter. Okay, fix the code and get back to the interpreter to get the output, right? Fix the code. Okay. So this is how interpretation is being done. Now let's talk about compilation. Okay. में ये वाला एक तो लाइन ड्रॉ कर देते हैं. Let me select another color here. Let me select this red. It's called compilation. And slipped. COMPATION. Compilation. So what do you mean by compilation? So compilation means okay, it will compile the whole source code at a time, right? We have a source code, right? This source code will travel to the compiler, travel to the compiler, compiler. The source code is the input of the compiler, right? So let me, yeah. So it is a source code. There is a compiler, right? So compiler will generate machine code. What it will generate? Machine code, machine code, or object code, or object code. Fine. Here the reason is if no errors, if no errors, if no errors, and if there is an error, right? If there is an error, so if there is an error, then your control will go back to the source code. The control will go back to the source code if error, right? And if no error, machine code or object code will be generated, right? So this code will also execute at one go. Fine. So Python is an interpreted language, and that is all. All the commands you write are interpreted and executed one by one. Understood? So Python is an interpreted language. We don't have to think about compiler as we are using Python. So Python Python is an interpreted.
Language.
Okay. So that is how we don't have to worry about compiler because there is no compiler out there. Okay. Fine.
Mm.
Chalo then. The current version of Python is 3.0. Current version of Python is Python. We call it 3x. What we call it? We call it
3x.
Python 3.x. X means it will be 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever. So what we are using currently? We are using 3.8.2. Right? This is what we are using. So this whole thing, this whole value is the x. Got it?
Yeah.
So we are using the current version of Python. Fine? Understood? Okay. So Python is a general purpose high level programming language and it is discovered by whom?
It was discovered by, I don't remember the name.
What? It is discovered by Guido van Rossum. Right? Which year it started? It started at 1989. Right?
Okay.
Fine. And what? And the Python was fully completed in 1991. Right? And the birth date of Python is February 20th. February 20th, 1991. So birth date of Python is
February 28th.
birthday. So that's the birthday of Python. Fine.
Hmm.
So it's very nice language, and I really enjoy writing programs in Python. So this is the basic idea behind Python. So Shubhalakshmi, in any language, right? In any language, say for example, you are learning English, right? So in English language, we have letters, right? We have digits, right? We have special symbols, right? To separate two words, we have white spaces, right? Sometimes we give more white spaces called tabs, right? And if we want to change the line also, we can change the line, right? When our line gets finished up. Okay. So
Yeah.
Python also is a language. Python is also a language, right? So it also have letters, it also have digits, it also have special symbols, right? It also have white spaces,
Okay.
also have other
Yeah.
characters, right? Letters, right? But Pythons have letters. Python is very close to English. Python is very close to English. So it has the letters like A to Z and small a to Z.
Fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Then you're asking something?
No, sir.
So Python have digits. So Lakshmi, you can mute yourself, right? And whenever
Yeah.
you have to ask anything, then you unmute yourself. So digits is 0 to 9, right? Special symbols are special symbols. Special symbols are space, plus, minus, multiplication, division, then raised to the power, right? The slash, then this bracket, this bracket, this brackets, right? Double slash, then equal to, then not equal to, then double equal to, okay? Then this is also not, right? Dot.
So what was equal to?
Double equal to is used for equality comparison, right?
Oh,
This equal to is for assignment. Okay, we'll come to everything. You will know everything. I'm just writing it. So, fine. So you have single quote, double quote, all right, and triple quote also. Okay. Then you have comma, semicolon, right? Colon, percentage, exclamation mark. Uh, okay, there are many, right? Etc. So let me write here, etc. So there are many. Then we have white spaces also, right? White spaces. So white spaces are like a blank space, blank space, blank space. Okay, tabs, right? Carriage return, right? Carriage return is basically enter key. Okay, enter key, right? New line, form feed, etc. Fine. Then we have other characters also. Okay. Python. Python can process all ASCII. So Python can process all ASCII and Unicode characters. So what is ASCII? So ASCII is basically uh, the ASCII. So this is one organization. This is one organization. Organization which sets the standard of keyboard characters, right? So currently this organization is called Unicode, right? Currently this organization is called Unicode and it supports multilingual characters, right? So Unicode supports Unicode supports multilingual character. Multilingual character. Fine. So it supports multilingual character. Subhalakshmi, you have any idea about the word called multilingual? Subhalakshmi, please unmute yourself and answer me. So, so multilingual means multiple language character it will support. Fine. So the next thing is tokens. So in every language we have words, right? In every language we have words. So we have learned A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H just before a minute. So in every language we have words, right? So in a passage of text, individual words, punctuation marks, right? And these things are called tokens, right? In a passage of text, individual words and punctuation marks or lexical units or lexical elements or passage of text, individual words and punctuations are called tokens or lexical units or
So,
say
aren't these called special characters? No, you told just now.
special.
Special characters, those commas and all, which comes under punctuation.
Yeah, those are the special characters. Fine.
So they
It
are
has
known as
it, they are also a tokens. Everything which is meaningful, right, in a language is called token
okay.
or a lexical unit. So the smallest individual unit in a program is known as token or a lexical unit, right? So the smallest. So
Yeah.
Python has following tokens. So number one is keywords. Number two, we have to understand what do you mean by identifier or names. Number three, we need to understand the literals. What are literals? Number four, we need to understand operators. And number five is punctuators, right? So the first one is keywords, right? So keywords, right? In every language we have keywords, right? Can you tell me how many keywords in English language?
How many keywords?
How many keywords are there in English language?
What were keywords can you say?
Right? There are billions of no, billions of keywords are there in uh, no
Yeah,
in English we have billions of keywords. Only 33 keywords, right? How many keywords?
33.
33 keywords. And if you know all the 33 keywords, right? If you know all the 33 keywords, you know the full language, right?
Mm.
Say, for example, in English, we never say that we know English very well, right? Because it contains billions of words, right? Sometimes adapted from other languages also, okay? But Python is a very simple language. It's more simpler than English language. It's more simpler than English language, and because it has only 33 keywords, right?
Okay.
So you don't have to memorize it, fine. Okay,
Mm.
you don't have to memorize it, and I will write it. Okay, uh, I will write it.
Okay.
Just see it, right? So keyword. So what do you mean by keywords? What do you mean by keywords?
What do you mean by keywords?
Keywords are the words that convey a special meaning to the language compiler or interpreter, right? So these are reserved for special purpose and must not be used as normal identifier names. Fine. So what do you mean by keyword? Keywords are the words. Keywords are the words that convey a special meaning to the language compiler or interpreter, right? These are reserved for special purpose and must not be used as normal identifier names. Fine. So let me write down the definition and then I will write down all the keywords. Okay. So keywords are, so how many reserved words are there? 33 reserved words, right? So Python has Python has 33 reserved words. Right? So this language is easier than any other human language, right? The first one is true, then false, then false, then none, right? Then we have and or not is if else elif if else and elif right? Then we have while for while for break continue return, इसको क्या हो गया, while for break continue return in yield, return in yield, right? Then I have words like try, except, finally, and we have a word called raise. Then we have words raise. There is another word called assert, A-S-S-E-R-T, assert, right? Then there is another bunch of words like import, from, as, class, def, pass, global, what is happening with this one? O-B-A-L, global, non-local, lambda, Global, global, lambda, del, and there is another word called with, right? So let me count if I miss out anyone. So first true, false, and then 3, right? And or not and is plus 4, 7, if else and elif 3, 10. Then I have while, for, break, continue, return, in, and yield. So how many words are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 17. So So how many words we have? We have 17 words. So we have 17 words. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 words are there. So let me draw this one. This is 22. What's happening out there? So it is 22 words. Right? So 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Right? This is pass. Right? Pass. So this is 22, right? Till assert we have 22 words. Then 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. All right. We have all 33 over here. नीचे करते हैं. So all 33 words are here. So Subhalakshmi is thinking, sir, how you are remembering this 33 words, right? So the problem is
Yeah.
this, the thing is this, and I'm saying that he do not memorize it. And that key, sir, you have memorized it? Answer is no, I have not memorized it. Fine. So when you use this language, na, because I'm using this language regularly to program, right? So what is happening here is that by using the language regularly, I have a very good practice of the language, right? So that is why I know all the keywords. Okay.
So it
So
stays in your brain.
how?
So it remains in your brain without memorizing.
Yeah, without memorizing, it remains in my brain, right? So when you open your book, you will see that these words are written in haphazard way because I have find out a logic to remember it also. So while, for, break, continue, return, in, and yield, they used in one sense, right? Try, accept, finally, raise, assert, used in another sense, right? If,
Hmm.
else, elif is like if, else if, right? It is in another sense, right? You have
Okay.
done any programming before this?
No, no.
No, no. Okay, then don't worry. You will understand this slowly, slowly. Okay. So next thing is, so after keywords, we have something called identifiers, right? So identifiers are basically, identifiers are the building blocks, right? Identifiers are the building blocks of a program and are used as a general terminology for the names given to different parts of the program, right? That is variable, objects, classes, functions, lists, dictionaries, etc. Okay. So, and we need to follow some rules to define the identifier. Fine. So there are a few rules which we need to follow. Okay. So let me write it down. Identifiers. So identifiers are the fundamental building block. So identifiers are the fundamental building blocks. Functions, lists, dictionaries, right? So these are different parts of our program, right? Variables which we used the mostly, objects which we used mostly, classes which we used mostly, functions which we used mostly, list also we used mostly. Our dictionaries are basically a key value pair. It's basically a key value pair. Fine. So you will understand about dictionaries later on a bit, but right now you just keep in your head it's a key value pair, right? So to give the identifier names, right? To give the names to something, right? Something which you are creating. Say for example, in our earth, everything have a name, right? Everything is having a name. Say for example, you are a creature and you have a name, right? If you if you keep a pet, right? So you give a name, right? So whenever we give names, right, we always starts with a letter, with a letter. Now we never give name like your name is 445. We never give name with the numbers, right? So same thing applies over here in Python also, right? So an identifier is an arbitrarily long sequence of letters, and you can use digits sometimes. Say for
Yes.
example, in your classroom, if we have another Subbalakshmi there, then we will call it Subbalakshmi. So teacher will identify, how teacher will identify it. So she said that key, when I will call Subbalakshmi, you will come. When I will call Subbalakshmi one, then you will come, right?
Okay.
So in that way, a teacher identifies when the names are similar. Now,
Yeah.
the classroom you have, so that is why first you need to use letters, and then if letters are not able to signify something, then we use digits. All right, it's a common sense, right? So here also identifying identifier forming rules of Python are also saying the same thing. The common senses they are talking about. All right, so let me write it down. Identifier forming rules.
Mhm. Yeah.
Identifier forming rules. Okay. You will get questions or on these in exams also, right?
Okay.
So, so an identifier is an arbitrarily long sequence of letters and digits, right? So an identifier is an arbitrarily arbit, arbitrarily. I don't know why my computer is behaving today very badly. Arbit, R-A-R-I-L-R-A. Thank God. Arbitrarily long sequence of letter. Letters and digits. Okay. So first character must be letter. First character must be letter. The underscore counts as letter. Counts as letter. And you can start the name with underscore also, but it has a special meaning, right? So we can use both case of letter, uppercase and lowercase, right? So when you are giving identifier name, so Python is case sensitive in the case of identifier, right? It is a case sensitive language. So uppercase A is different than smaller case a. Fine. So uppercase and lowercase letters are different here. Fine. And all characters are
Fine.
significant. Upper and lowercase letters are different. All characters are significant. So next point is the digits 0 through 9 can be the part of identifier except for the first character, right? So the
Uh,
fine. Say.
yeah.
Hmm.
So can you explain me the statement once again?
Which one? The digits 0 through 9 can be the part of
Yeah.
identifier, right? You can write no something like Subhalakshmi 1, right? You can write Saini 1, Saini 2, Saini 3, Saini 4 if there are many Sainis are present in the
Okay.
classroom. So you can write Saini 1, Saini 2, Saini 3, Saini 4 like that. Say you want to store marks of 4 students. So you can write marks 1, marks 2, marks 3, marks 4 to identify 4 different kinds of marks, right? So that you can do, but you cannot write 1 mark, 2 mark like that. You cannot do that. That is what it is saying. Okay. So in Python language, what will be the length of an identifier, right? How many characters you can use? You can use unlimited characters, right? So the length of the identifier is unlimited. So identifiers are,
So it's also included as an identifier.
yeah, it is included as an identifier. It has unlimited in length, means ki your identifier can have millions of characters, no problem.
Okay, fine.
But anyhow, we give names sensibly, right?
Yeah.
Okay, otherwise we are in trouble.
Yeah.
So identifiers are unlimited in length, right? Case is significant here as Python is case sensitive, right? So case is significant, that is Python is case sensitive, that is Python is case sensitive. Python is case sensitive. Python is case sensitive as it treats upper and lower case. So the next thing is Python must not be, so an identifier must not be a keyword, so, right? So keyword cannot be selected as an identifier. Okay. So those 33 keyword cannot be selected as an identifier. You cannot name using these identifier. Okay. So let me write here. So the last point is an identifier cannot contain any special character like at the rate, dollar. So these things are not allowed, right? So an identifier cannot contain any special character, except for underscore. So this is the thing, right? So let me give you some examples of this. So the examples are, right? So if I have defined an identifier like this, say my file, the correct identifier or wrong identifier. So started with a letter, right? And there is no special character, so it's a valid identifier. Okay. So if I write here mark, okay. So mark is a valid identifier. If I write here dollar, so I have used here a special symbol dollar, so this dollar is not allowed. So this is
Not.
invalid identifier. Yeah, say.
I was telling that.
Okay. So it is not a valid identifier, right? So if I write something like um, underscore name, so underscore name, so underscore is allowed, right? So an identifier cannot contain any special character except for underscore, right? And the rules are there ki the identifiers are unlimited in length, right? An identifier must not be a keyword in Python, right? And the first character must be a letter or the underscore counts as a letter. So this name is a valid identifier. This name is a valid identifier. Fine. So this name is a valid identifier. Right. So if I write here true, true is a valid identifier. Answer is no, it
No.
is not a valid identifier because it is a keyword. Okay. So
Yeah.
we cannot use true as an identifier. Okay. So these things we need to take care about. right? So so when what we are using it and what we are not using it. Okay. So Lakshmi, today we do class this much, right? And I will be
Fine.
sending you this node in half an hour, right? I
Okay.
have to update my computer first, and
Sir,
then I have to uh, upload this notes, right?
sir,
Say.
I was going to ask you a question. Can
Say.
can you just explain me that case thing once again?
Case.
Yeah, so what's the matter with that case?
Case is a matter of small letter and capital letter.
Yeah, that I understood. I'm
Okay.
wanting to say that
Hmm.
you told me Python is case significant.
Case significant, right? Case is significant here. If you are writing marks, so if you have written marks,
Yeah.
marks, marks. So this marks is different than this marks, right? This is one identifier. This is another identifier. These two are not same. Understood?
Yeah.
If I've written MARKS, this is another different identifier. This is third way. I can write it in multiple ways. MARK and capital S in this way also. So all these are valid identifiers, but they are different identifiers, right? So that is why Python is case sensitive, and all the keywords of Python are in small case, right? Other than the first three, right? The first three, have you seen the first three keywords? Now, see one thing how I have memorized it or remember it. True ka T is capital, false ka F is capital, and none ka N is capital. Only
Yeah.
only these three are
Hmm.
written like this, and other than these three, all are in small case. All are in
Small case.
small case, right? So Python is a case sensitive language, and it senses the case very much intelligently. All right.
Oh,
Okay. So these are the identifier naming rules which you need to follow. All right.
fine.
Okay. So Lakshmi, next 2, 3 classes, we'll do some theoretical things. After that, we start doing programming, right? Even
Oh,
next week, I will show you few theory and few commands I will show you in the
oh,
next week. And then after that, we start writing programs, how to solve small mathematical problems.
yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
So I will be sending this, and I will be sending you one book also to study. All right,
Okay.
that you can download it on your tablet, and you can read the book. Okay.
So when will you take the next class?
Next class will be on next Monday at 5.
Okay, fine.
Fine. And when this lockdown will over now at Kamalgachi, I will be taking the classes on Sunday.
Okay,
Fine. Okay.
fine.
Chalo then. Bye.
Bye.